Today we're taking a look at Nobushi. You guys wanted me to cover Nobushi in 2025 on a poll I posted last week. With Nobushi, she can inflict a lot of bleed damage onto her opponent. And of course, she is a very hard character in For Honor to play with and understand. But in today's video, I'm going to help you guys understand and learn about Nobushi in For Honor. Let's go. Okay, so going over Nobushi, the first thing we'll go over is her lights. They are a 3-hit chain. Her first light does 12 damage, and her second light in the chain does 7 damage, and her third light does around 1 damage, but it also inflicts bleed onto the opponent. Now, when it comes to these lights, you don't have to always just do it on the same side all the time. You can also mix it up, so if you go light, 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 you can just attack differently on all the different sides. So if I were to go to left side, start right there. So if I were to go left side, right side, and then top, I can do something like that. I can just mix up the lights. Now, the only thing I will say is that the lights themselves, you don't want to spam them too much, because if you spam them, then people are going to read that pattern that you're doing and end up parrying you. Well, sometimes people will parry the lights just from neutral, really. So you want to be careful sometimes when using the lights. You just want to be mindful of it. You can still use them, just be mindful that you will get parried if you're using it a little bit too much. Now, you can also mix up the lights with Now you can mix up the light and heavy together to get this right here. So if I go for light and heavy, that's pretty much what you will get. And the heavies themselves are 2-hit chains, and that first heavy does around 24 damage, and the second one does around 29 damage. And of course, if you look at that second chain heavy here, this second chain heavy is undodgeable. Pretty much all of her secondary chain heavies are undodgeable. Her second heavies, that is, they're undodgeable. So if someone decides to be a bit dodgy, you can just use that second heavy to just catch them if they're dodging. Or if you want to, you can sometimes delay it a bit and then catch them. Sometimes it works like that. Like, I will catch people whenever they're just dodging a bit too much and I delay my attack. It catches them flawlessly. Most of the time it does. Okay, moving on, Nobushi has a really good move called the hidden stance, which you can use this move to dodge opponent's attacks, or you can use the kick while in the stance, or you can throw heavies or lights out if you want to. I usually would just use the hidden stance as a way to dodge my opponents most of the time, their attacks, or to possibly get a heavy or a light off on my opponent. So if I decide to, I can just go for a light or go for a heavy afterward, go for pretty much any attack that I want to. Now, you do want to be careful, because while in hidden stance, you will be vulnerable to a guard break. So you want to be mindful of that every time you tend to use this stance. So whenever you're using the stance, guys, you don't want to try and use it too much, because if the person catches on what you're doing or within your mix-up, then they're going to try and just take advantage of that and just guard break you when you're going into hidden stance a bit too much. So just be mindful of it. Moving on to the next move, Nobushi also has a side dodge light attack, which is called Cobra Strike, which will cause bleed damage. So this is what it looks like here. You just move. It's like a side dodge light. You can move forward with it to go for a front forward light as well in this. So side dodge lights themselves, they do cause a lot of bleed damage. And Nobushi can also go for a Cobra Strike after a GB. You mainly just want to push your opponent after you GB here, push them, and you can go for that Cobra Strike mix-up that you can do. Also, Nobushi's bleed is just crazy. It really is. Like, her bleed can buff her regular damage, and I'll show you guys right now. Now, the way that you do tend to get this out is when you're throwing out an undodgeable heavy, is what I'm noticing. But let me just show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and bleed Warden here, and I'm going to go straight into hidden stance and go for my undodgeable heavy here. It does around 35 damage. If the bleed wasn't applied, it would do 29 damage for that undodgeable heavy. So as you see there is 29 damage. So it does buff up that damage for the undodgeable. That's pretty much what I've been noticing, is that it just buffs the undodgeable. Her damage does become a bit buffed up whenever her passive, like if someone is bleeding, it just buffs the damage a little bit. I think that's what it is, honestly. But pretty much she gets extra damage from just those undodgeables, either within hidden stance or pretty much just throwing out the regular undodgeable heavies, the second heavies. All right, moving on, Nobushi also has a retreat move that's called Viper's Retreat. You can use this move to apply bleed from a long distance, and you can use this move to keep away from your opponent and regroup if you need to, or recover, or just really just to get away and just apply bleed, or just apply bleed to that particular person for either the shaman to go after. If you're playing with shaman, you do that. But honestly, this move is really good, and it is honestly a safe move. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, the way you do it is just you hold back on the left stick and you press light. That's pretty much how you would do Viper's Retreat. Nobushi can also go for her kick after any light or heavy attack here. Now in hidden stance, she can also go for her kick. Now you can definitely do that if you want to, but you can also go for the kick after any light or heavy if you're wanting to just do that, and to continue your mix up or whatever move you're wanting to do after the kick. But just be careful. Like I said earlier, the kick itself can be vulnerable to a guard break, so you don't want to spam it too much. Just use it when you really need to. And also Nobushi does have a side dodge heavy attack that does around 16 damage on both right and left. Now if the opponent is bleeding, the damage does get buffed up a little bit, just by 4 damage, and it does around 20 damage for both right and left. Moving on to Nobushi's zone. Nobushi's zone, it does around 14 damage on the right side. Now if your opponent is bleeding, it does around 17 damage on the right side, and it does apply bleed at the end of the zone if you let it go fully through. Now you can also feint the zone, like as always, you can always feint the zone, but you can also go for heavies while going for the zone. All you gotta do is just move into the direction you want to, and just go for the heavy on either direction. So if you want to go for the right side, you go for the right side. If you're wanting to go for top side, you can go for top. Also, some of you guys in the comments have been asking me what I would do after I parry somebody whenever I'm playing with some of these heroes. Y'all wanted to see some of that? I'll show you guys with Nobushi. So with Nobushi, here's what I usually would do whenever I parry somebody. So if I go for a heavy parry, I have to go for Viper's Retreat right after. I have to be quick with it because I don't want to be a bit too late with it. I want to go for Viper's Retreat and then just dodge forward. And if they side dodge, then I can go for a GB and possibly get some more damage going and go forward again. That's pretty much what I do, is just go for Viper's Retreat, move forward, and then bar break them if they dodge, and then catch them like that. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, most of the time I would just move up, move forward, just throw a heavy out or something. Just do something different just to see what happens, okay? Or just throw my heavy out and just guard break them afterward. Just doing different things. Honestly, it's up to you on what you want to do when it comes to parrying afterward. This is just pretty much what I usually do. I just go for Viper's Retreat and then just move forward. That's literally all I do whenever I'm playing with Nobushi. Now, of course, after a light parry, of course, you just go straight for a heavy. Now, after a light parry, I kind of do the same thing, but of course, I let the heavy go first. Let it go first, go for Viper's Retreat, possibly go for a light if I want to, if I get it. Now, sometimes I will get it, sometimes I won't. It's just honestly your personal preference on what you want to do right after. Now, of course, you guys do know from the last Warriors Den, they did go over Nobushi's buffs and her tweaks a little bit. Now, I wouldn't say that it's a buff. It's more of a tweak to her, just to her movement, really. Just to like sidewinder here, making it a bit more better with her trajectories. Same goes for her side dodge light attacks here, just making them a bit better. And for her kick, just giving it a bit more forward to it, forward movement as well. That's pretty much what it is for Nobushi. It's not like a buff, it's more of just tweaks to her kit. Alrighty guys, here we are to Nobushi's feats. Now these are like the feats on what I take for her in Dominion, so let's go over them real quick. So for the first one, I am taking Speed Revive. Of course, this is a passive. You rapidly revive fallen teammates. Mainly, I'm just taking this to revive my allies a bit faster than normal. For the second one, I'm taking Smoke Bomb. You throw a smoke bomb in front of you that temporarily blinds your opponents. So of course, I'm taking this to just blind my opponents temporarily. I am, and I'm gonna try and just get as much damage as I possibly can whenever they are blind. Whenever I'm just using like some of the samurai fashion and they have smoke bomb, I'm just gonna use it and just get the best damage as I possibly can whenever I do blind somebody. It's just a temporary blind. That's pretty much why I'm taking it. But another one that you can take if you're not wanting to take that for Nobushi, you can take Arrow Strike, which of course it does deal moderate damage over an area, but is also good to kill and just get cleanup kills if the opponents are very low or a group of people are just very low, or you can just use it to get them out the way. It really is up to you if you want to take Arrow Strike. For the third one, I'm taking Longbow. Of course, for Longbow, it fires a longbow for moderate damage. I'm just using Longbow and just to make the fights a bit quicker. That's pretty much what I'm taking Longbow for. And for the final one, I'm taking Fire Trap. Trap that explodes and creates a fire area of effect. I'm just taking this one just so that I can get a lot of damage, of course, from that fire, but also to just trap my opponents sometimes. Just keep them like away from the point, or if they see that, they're just gonna stay away. That's pretty much why I'm taking Fire Trap. Just to A, keep them away from like a certain point, or B, just to kill them if they're very low or if they're like half health, or C, we pretty much are close to breaking them and there are 3 of them left on the point. I'm just gonna set that down and just get some damage going, and then we just start the fight. That's pretty much what I would say. Alrighty, so we're gonna go over Nobushi's gear perks. Here we go. So for the first one, she has Radiant Rebound. Upon spawn or when revived, you gain 20% move speed for 10 seconds. For the second one, she has Remedy. Upon hero kill, heal plus 10 health. Sorry, right there. For the third one is Feline Agility. When gaining a renown level, gain 4% move speed for the first, then 2% for each subsequent level. For the fourth one, she has Supersonic and Revenge, gain 50% move speed and uninterruptible sprint, which persists briefly after Revenge ends. For the fifth one, it is Clever Tactics, capture zone using banner / offerings 50% faster. For the sixth one is Rise and Dawn, revive allies to 75% health. And for the final one, it is Rapid Refresh. Upon takedown or when reviving an ally repeats, active cooldowns are reduced by 5%.
You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C.
Incredibili! Infirmus! Etia! Incredibilis!
You captured Zone A. Lost Zone A. You captured Zone A.
that's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. I do hope this video does help you with Nobushi, and I hope you understand the character a bit more For Honor. Of course, she is a really fun hero to play with in Dominion. For me, she is. I have been having a great time with Nobushi in Dominion, using her bleeds, of course, to set up with Shaman whenever I have a Shaman on my team, and I'm really just using her bleeds in general. Whenever someone is in revenge, I'm just going to be bleeding them. That's pretty much how I usually play with Nobushi. If they're just in revenge, I'm going to just stack my bleed the entire time and just hope they're dead. That's pretty much what I would do in Nobushi. But when it comes to Nobushi, you just want to play a bit passive with her. You don't want to be overly aggressive with her, because that will be your downfall. If you tend to just spam her attacks all willy-nilly every single time, your chances are you're going to get parried, and you're possibly going to just die instantly if you keep on doing that. So you don't want to try and do that. You want to be mindful. You want to mix it up a little bit with her and just be passive with her. Very passive. That's pretty much what I would say with Nobushi. But honestly, I want to know what you guys think about Nobushi in the comments down below. Do you guys like her? Do you not like her? Do you think she needs more buffs, or do you think she needs more nerfs? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that being said, I'm the Gaming Raptor. Take care and stay safe. All right, guys. Peace out.